Welcome back. Today I am sharing a whole house declutter as a minimalist family of 5 now. And I am going to be going through my home and pulling everything out that we no longer use or need. I like to do this every season. I call it a seasonal declutter. And I just go through really quickly and find the few things that are really obviously not used anymore. I'm here in my kitchen and I just pulled these 2 items out. I would notice that I was never using these. I already have 2 other kinds of these that are very similar. And I just read this blog post that I will link down below on Becoming Minimalist. And what it said was, just because you use it doesn't mean you need to keep it, which sounds kind of odd. But the point was that just because you have maybe 5 or 6 spatulas and you do use them all throughout the whole year, do you still need them all? You could always use something else. And that's what I realized. I was never using this because I have tongs that I can use, and I was never using this one because I have 2 other ones that I prefer more. So these 2 items can go, and with that new way of thinking, I'm going through my home and seeing what I can get rid of that I have been keeping because I felt I was using it just once in a while. I've had these little baking dishes for a really long time now, probably 7 years, and same with this bowl, and I never use them, and year after year I keep them. And even now my mom is here and I was pulling these out and she said, oh, well, you might need them for a party. But I have to be real with myself, and I've never used any of these things for even the parties that we have here in the last 7 years. So I'm gonna let this stuff go, and if for some reason I need a bowl or one of these, I can go purchase one. I just went through every cupboard in the kitchen, had a quick look, and pulled out those few items, and now I'm on to the next area. By opening every drawer and looking in every closet, it helps me to find items that I might have overlooked. As I come across something that no longer fits Levi, I'm just setting it aside so I can hand it down to a friend that is expecting a boy. And I can't believe it, but he's already growing out of little newborn outfits. Today's video is sponsored by Audible. I love listening to audiobooks on simple living and minimalism as I am doing an easy declutter. Audible lets you enjoy all of your audio entertainment in one app. You'll always find the best of what you love or something new to discover. Listening to audiobooks about minimalism and simple living and how to declutter always keep me motivated and help me to keep my house more minimal and very organized. As I am decluttering today, I'm listening to the audiobook Life Less Throwaway.
It could ease the clutter, unhappiness, and debt that came with overconsumption.
And I absolutely love it so far. It is such an inspirational thing to listen to as I'm going through my home today and decluttering what I can and the obvious things. As I switch out my seasonal clothing, I just pulled out my winter bag to put some stuff away and go through it. I found these tights that are still in the package, and I've had these for so many years. I think my mom actually bought these for me when I lived in New Zealand, and I never even opened them. So I'm finally going to let these go because I live in a warm climate and I just don't need these. To find all sorts of inspirational audiobooks, visit audible.com/Shannon Torrens or text Shannon Torrens to 500-500. And all new members can try Audible free for 30 days. Just check the link below. I have all these tights from when I lived in a really cold climate, and I just don't need these anymore. I'm going to save this one pair of under warm pants that I know will fit to wear under something if I go to the snow, and all the rest I'm going to let go because I know I haven't worn them in so long and they probably don't even fit anymore. As you can see in this cupboard, we have a ton of space, and that's what I love about being more minimal, is just how much space we actually have. This is pretty unorganized because I've just let the boys put all their stuff in here, but I've decided I'm going to reorganize how I store some of the items in our home and in our garage and put some of the garage items into here so we have easier access. But it's just surprising to me whenever I open up a closet and see how much space we actually have in there. compared to when we were not minimalist and everything was completely stuffed to the brims. So that's why decluttering really makes such a change. And that's why I like to go through things seasonally, because I can get rid of those few extra items that we just never use and do not need. I've just gone through this hall cabinet. This is where we haven't really had a lot of stuff in here, but I have had the boys' workbooks for learning and just a lot of random things like this plug and bins, and a lot of stuff was spread out. But I'm glad I went through this because this whole pile here can go, and now I've reconfigured it, and these can go, this can go somewhere else, and organize stuff into this bin, so this can be stacked in here now. And I'm still gonna go through the books to see what my boys can actually use, and what hasn't been used that they won't use, I will donate. And we haven't used a lot of them. Some of them we've used part of the books, so I'm gonna see what we can actually use and get rid of the rest. This looks so much better, and down there I'm leaving empty for now because I might reconfigure some stuff from the garage into this area. I've had comments in the past where people have asked what I do with kids' clutter and when kids want to keep stuff. So my boys are just like any other kid, and they love to keep every project piece of paper that they come home from school with, they make. And what I do is I let them keep it for a while, and then I go through and I get rid of the ones that they've forgotten about or have gone to the very bottom of the pile, and I recycle them, and then we have plenty more to take the place of those. But that's another reason why seasonal declutters are great, because I can go through and get rid of this type of stuff that is just obvious but needs to go. Now I'm going through the boys' shoes, and again, I'm picking such obvious things that I know probably need to be decluttered. Because kids grow so fast and they wear through clothes and shoes so fast, this is always a great place to start. Neither one of my boys ever wears slippers, so I'm gonna donate these. They're in perfect condition. Now I'm going through another really obvious, easy spot to declutter. This is the bin where they put all of their random toys, and it usually gets filled with a bunch of junky plastic toys and even trash that they like to keep, or little bits of recycled things. And I'm okay with them keeping it for a while, and then at some point they forget about it. I go through and I declutter these items, and having a little bin to put these in makes it so much quicker and easier. Just a few moments of going through that bin of random toys, I found all this stuff that needs to go.
Today we are gonna go and clean our toys, which is broken and which one's not. And we're gonna go through. We just dumped our bin out, and Calvin's gonna help me right now. The good toys that we put in here, the bad toys we put out over there. This is a good frisbee. We can do this. Broken. Okay. We have to organize it. This and this are all keepers.
And can you take this off, with it off?
Well, that's good.
Okay, what else is it called?
Here,
Okay. I like this.
This is not trash. He got this from Hawaii. Trash.
Okay, then it needs to go somewhere, not in the bottom of the toy box in the garage.
This is not trash. Neither is that.
Okay, where does it need to go, Calvin?
Neither is this.
Where does it go? Calvin, where does that stuff go?
In the bedroom.
In the bedroom. Da-da-da, back into the house it goes. Back into the house it goes.
In my office closet, I mostly have everything I use all the time. But every time I open that side, I see this hat, and I bought this in the hopes that it would fit my head and stretch out a little bit, but it hasn't. And I asked my mom if she might be able to use it because it does fit her, and she said she would give it a try. So I'm going to give this to my mom and finally get rid of it. Again, just trying to get rid of those items that I've been holding on to in the hopes that they will work for me, but gonna finally let them go. Up here in this closet, I know I'm mostly storing empty bins and ways to organize things. And at this point, since I haven't used them in the few years we've lived here, I think I'm ready to let these go or put them somewhere where I can use them. The only thing this bin contained were these guitar straps and this empty drawer holder that obviously I'm using the inside of this for something else. So I am going to put this out in the garage. If we can't use it there, then I will declutter this. Here is another thing I just pulled down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these IKEA bins. They're collapsible, but then you can just make them into a bin. We do have a shelf in the kids' room that uses this size bin, so I'm gonna save 3 of them and let the rest go. And if we have to buy more at some point, we can, but we haven't used these for a really long time. Between all the things I have stacked in my office already, and then now this stuff going out of here, it feels great to be able to let go of so many things, because even though I don't see all these items every single day, I know that they are there in my closets, taking up a ton of space, and this will make it so much easier to organize and use that space in a more productive way rather than just storing all of these extra things. I'm having to do this whole house declutter in the few moments I have available here and there, and I just wanted to say that because I know a lot of people comment that they don't have a lot of time to declutter, and I feel like you can actually get a lot done in a short amount of time by just spending about 10 or 15 minutes each day going through a certain area. So that's one trick if you don't have a lot of time. Here is the growing pile. I also found 2 workbooks the boys don't use anymore, and they have too many basketballs, so they said this one could go. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!